10 minutes past the hour of 7 in the AM, 1st of the 1st, 2026. Still going on that intense blend. That's intense. She's alright. What are we going to do this year, Pinky? What are we doing this year, Brian? Well, we're going to take over the world, Pinky. Are we? Are we still playing that game this year? I kind of got sick of it last year, and the year before that, the year before that, the year before that, and since forever. It's a silly game, really, isn't it? You know, great cartoon, terrible game, terrible way to live. So, couple of commands that we were given. We had, God's laws and rules, and who's actually sticking by them, though? We was told to go forth and with dominion over the earth and to multiply, correct? To be prosperous. Prosperous in what way? Money? No. In wisdom. Be prosperous in wisdom. And if we had been prosperous in wisdom, we would have it all already. We'd have it all, everything we ever needed. More than we could ever need, and everything that we want that isn't bad for us. We can still have our speedway and our sports and our games to play. Not as a distraction so that we don't notice our change. As a celebration, as a way of enjoying the accomplishments from the gifts that we had been given. In humbleness. We could have it all, but we don't. What does that sound the opposite of? Well, we was never told to go and form tribes and be tribalistic and get our religion out and wave it around like porn stars at a pissing competition. We was never told to create religion at all. None of that. How petty and pathetic. You know religion is just politics, right? Nobody wants to talk about politics. Nobody wants to talk about religion. But they want to be tribalistic idiots and fight with each other over their politics and religion. Anti-religion and anti-politics is a politics and religion all in its own. Your faith in there being no God and, is a religion in itself. Your refusal to acknowledge politics is how politics rules over you. You're an idiot. You know what politics is, don't you? The commandments and doctrines of men. Legislature. Policy. All the things that prohibit you and hinder you. They don't stop you. Prohibition doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's like riding a bike without a helmet. You don't suddenly just malfunction and you're not able to ride a bike because you don't have a helmet on. They just tell you can't because they prohibit you from doing it. Why? It's got nothing to do with your safety. If it did, then we wouldn't have motorbikes that can do over 3 kilometres an hour, would we? We wouldn't have cars that can do over 3 kilometres an hour on the road. I mean, you're not supposed to drive that fast. Okay, settle down. Settle down. Perhaps this isn't a grown-up conversation for you. Because the law, no, legislation. Not law. What is law? Do you know? Law is supposed to be there for social cohesion and preservation of life, to ensure that we can all live in harmony with one another. Not to make money out of people. Not to keep people downtrodden and feeling guilty their entire lives for not doing anything wrong. It's not there so you can ruin everyone's life so that they can never get ahead, never get a chance. Now they can't get a job because they've got some kind of criminal record where they haven't actually committed a crime. They've got no victims. They're probably more honest and have 10 times more empathy and integrity than the people that put them in cuffs and stuck them in front of a judge. Here's one. When was the last time you heard of a police officer pull over in the rain to help a woman change a flat tyre? Ha! You're joking, aren't you? You might break a nail or work up a sweat. They might get a little stain on their precious little blue shirt. They might get their pants dirty. They might melt. They're made of sugar, half of them. They think they're tough, hiding behind their badge, accusing people of hiding behind their kids. What are we going to do this year? Brain? Come on, brain. You've been doing the same thing over and over and over for how long now? Have you taken over the world yet? Turns out Pinky's the smart one out of them, doesn't it? Pinky doesn't create bad karma for himself. Doesn't wish bad karma on anybody else. Why? Because karma's a nasty little devil. Once you contract with karma, you owe karma and karma will collect. Have you ever looked at it that way? It's not for you to dish out karma. It's not for you to ask or wish bad karma. It's not for you to curse in the Lord's name. Not for me either. I asked the good Lord to even the odds a bit. Yeah. To give me the strength and the wisdom to make things right. I ask him to try to help people to stop being assholes. I don't wish bad on people. I used to. Why? Where does that get me? Where does that get ya? Bitter, twisted, angry old man. Turns into one of these things. On the keyboard, yeah. Yeah, you can't do that. fucking internet demon. The keyboard gremlin, huh? Sad. But it's been a couple of thousand years now, hasn't it? Since that big moment, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Do they still not know what they do? Do they know not? I don't know. Some, yeah, absolutely. Some know better, but they're doing it anyway. Why? They're jammed into a mortgage. They're jammed into a family to take care of. They've jammed themselves into a bad place between their own hammer and anvil. I'm here to tell you people that that's not an excuse anymore. Because you know, it's not like all the good people of the world aren't telling you. It's not like you've not heard it. You're choosing to ignore it. La 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 la, I'm a policeman. La 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 la, I'm a politician. La 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 la, I'm just an ignorant fucking idiot. By their fruits you shall know them, not by their uniform, not by their words, not by their ego, by their fruits, by their actions. Daniel! Daniel! The cat's done business in its potty. I can't stand the smell of it. I can put up with it for another couple of minutes and I'm going to have to go do it myself. I mean, what are you doing up so early on New Year's morning? Why not? Everyone else seems to have this competition to be the last one standing on New Year's Eve. I know I'm probably behind the eight ball on most people, but well, not a lot of people. But here's a new competition. Be the first one to get up and try and say something positive, something to educate people, something to help people see the light. Last one standing in the dark, or the first one to rise in the light. No, I didn't 6-7 it. 6-7. Apparently I'm not allowed to do that, my daughter said. Other people say, oh, it's evil. No, it's intent. Intent's evil. The intent behind things. You can have good intentions or bad intentions. Enforcing a legislation so you can go and stroke your ego with your badge. Yeah, no, a lot of what I do is about police. Why? Because they're one of the biggest problems that we have. They are one of the biggest problems standing in the way of the world becoming a better place. Because they are willfully ignorant. You can put a flower on the end of a policeman's gun all day. He's still going to point it at you. Okay, I've got a lobby idea. Why don't we all lobby government? If we're not allowed to have guns, then neither can police. Because guns don't kill people, people kill people. And there's an awful lot of police with the wrong mentality. I mean, like I say, probably a bit of a dick move, trying to shoot a cop with an arrow over in Penguin the other day. Whenever it was, but it was only the other day that one cop goes to jail because a bunch of them bashed the shit out of him. So we have a mentality of a group of police that are quite happy to kick the shit out of one person. Okay, it's a bit of a dick move. Did he shoot anyone? Did he hit anyone with it? Don't think so. This dude got some psychological thing going on. Is he not viewing the world through a sober lens? Did you have some kind of reason to fear these police? I'd say so, because they all kicked the shit out of him. One dude with a knife in Launceston only a few months ago, with 3 bullets in him, laying on the ground screaming and can't let go of the knife because he's in shock. So they just keep loading him up with lead until he's dead. Standing around him. There's 7 or somewhere between 7 and 10 police officers. That's an execution. They clearly do not have the morality, the maturity, or the self-control, nor the empathy to be trusted with the firearm. Hello, the door swings both ways. Who'd have thunk? They got pepper spray. They could have done the same job with pepper spray. They squirt a fair distance. If you can't squirt someone with pepper spray before they lunge a knife through you when there's a whole bunch of you, it's something wrong. You're a coward. You're a coward. You didn't fear for your life because you had a knife. You feared for your life because you're a fucking coward. You shouldn't have a gun. You're a coward with authority. You think you have. I have the authority, said the man with the gun. No, you don't. You have a gun. But I've got a badge. That's right. That's all you got. Take them off. What are you? Just a coward. Just a poor miserable imp. Now they want tasers. How many people do you know with a pacemaker? They're older people, aren't they? My age and older. People who will stand up for their rights. People who will call out bullshit, pacemaker or no pacemaker. Why? It's a generation. The generation who wears scars like badges of honour. The people who don't back down to tyranny. The people who got behind the gym at lunchtime and had a good old biffo. Sorted it out and then ended up good friends. Men. Actual men. Sigma men. Men with honour. Not fucking cowards running around beating their chest thinking they're an alpha of some sort. Well, alpha alright. Look at Generation Alpha. Just look at it, will ya? What a joke. Sitting around with their Netflix and chill in a fucking onesie. Getting around in their cowboy costumes. thinking that gives them authority. I'm sorry, guys, but God, do you know how pathetic you look? The whole street looking at you's like, what the fuck is this? Getting around with their magic fairy wands. Come on. That's pretty un-Australian. That's un-Australian. That's immature. That's a little bit special needs. I'd say most of you are on the spectrum in some way. Is it borderline personality disorder? You don't like who you are, so you pretend to be something you're not? What is it? You pretend you have something you don't have? Did you have a pet rock for a friend when he was a kid or something? I don't know what's going on with you. Do you go home and wear fishnet stockings and a gimp mask while you watch a dog lick his balls or something? Oh, seriously, I don't know what's going on with this. There is something wrong with this. Like I was saying out here. What's wrong with you? Apparently that's my bad behaviour. Asking the cop what's wrong with him while he's throwing me around the front yard. What is wrong with you? You've got issues, man. What's wrong with you? Fuck me. I know you need me in the stomach that hard that you made me empty my bowels. And I've got a problem. Yeah, right. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that, mate. Keep telling yourself that. You see, sneaky little game. I knew what I was walking into. Yeah, okay. I knew what I was walking into. 2 days before I decided whether I was even going to make a statement or not. As soon as it was asked of me, I'll come down with your footage and we'll make a statement, and because something's, clearly not right here. Let me translate that for you. Come down and give me everything that we can get from you so that we can fucking protect our own and trump up some more charges on you. That's what that was. I goes down there and no one in the front kiosk, and then all of a sudden the dude that assaults me is sitting in there pretending to do some kind of paperwork. Well, the sergeant's expecting to do a statement with me there at the front desk of the kiosk on his tablet, and I handed him one to sign. Oh. And handed him 2 more to sign both of those for evidence that he'd received my statement. And he signed mine as evidence that what I had was exactly the same statement, and my third party statement. Officer Flynn sitting behind him, taking notes. That's a sign of someone worried that they're about to get in trouble. I don't want you to get in trouble. I just want you to learn your lesson. Seriously. I want you to realise that you're a bunch of road pirates and thugs. I want you all to realise that. You're not serving a good cause. There's nothing honourable about what you're doing. Now, am I having a whinge? A little bit. You see, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I want a conversation. So I said, I don't care what happens to me. I'll walk for 2 years. Do I look like somebody who's not grown accustomed to walking? Done a bit of walking in my time. Do I come across as someone who goes caveman and just wants to go thump thump because I don't have grown up words? Use your words. Use your words. Use your words. Conflict resolution. Use your words. I don't think. Here we go. Here's a challenge. I don't think you're capable of that conversation. Because you don't want to have the conversation. Nobody wants to have the conversation. They want to have their conversation. It's always their conversation. Nobody wants to own their own shit. Nobody wants to have a look at themselves. Nobody wants to adjust their attitude. Nobody wants to question their own beliefs. Their own indoctrinated beliefs. They just want to have their conversation. They don't give a shit what you think as long as they get their point across. And if you don't agree, they just yell until you go away and claim they won. Won what? It wasn't a it wasn't a competition. It was a conversation. It was supposed to be. I'm in competition with no man, other than myself, to try and do better today than I did yesterday. That's all any of us can do. You can't hold people to a higher standard than yourself and expect them to want to achieve that standard. When to deal with you, they got to lower themselves to your standard. You drag them down to your standard and then hold them to a higher standard than yourself. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what this is. You lower people to your standard and then hold them to a higher standard than you hold yourself. You drag us down to it. How? You gaslight people. You get around gaslighting everyone. Not just police. Most people do that. Everyone's in everything for what they can get out of it, not what they have to offer. Not for common ground, not for compromise. Everyone has to win, everyone has to be right, everyone has to get something out of it. What's in it for me? What is in it for you? What's in it for you? What is in it for you to get around being an asshole all day, every day? No, I'm not just talking about police. I've had to work with people like that. I've had to live with people like that in their communities. Hell, I was raised by someone like that. Being raised by a real life Jake the Muss, not much fun. But I learned a thing or two. Not only did I grow some skin, because he was not just a physical Jake the Muss. He's a very calculated, twisted, bitter individual with a lump of coal for a heart. A man that would cry no tears. Grandiose narcissistic personality disorder. Knew how to mimic empathy. Definitely knew how to manipulate people so he could watch them cry. Probably to try and work out why they cry. So here's my New Year's resolution for everyone. Even the playing field. Level up. Let's level the scales. Unequal weights and measures are an abomination in the eyes of the Lord. And they should be in yours too. There is more to that parable about Christ flipping tables at the temple and chasing them around with the whip. That wasn't just about the exchanges of money for product. That was about the balance of power. That was about tipping the scales of justice that's supposed to be blind with the jury. Justice with one eye open is no justice at all. It's biased, and it only sees things through one eye, from one point of view. That point of view is revenue. Hence why the magistrate never gets to do their job properly. I think you'll find most of them would like to. But they're not afforded that right. They're not able to enable the law. They're not able to enact the law. Why? Plea deals. Everything's got a plea deal attached to it. As soon as you enter into a plea deal, you have contracted with revenue and taken your soul away from the hands of the law. You just tipped the balance, the scales of justice. Judge can't help you now. So this year's resolution, I don't need New Year's resolution. I used to do New Year's resolutions. And they used to work for me sometimes. Other times they didn't. It turned out that every day can be a New Year's resolution. You just got to be born again. Well, even as a Christian, as a new man, I've had enough. To be born again means you start fresh. You start fresh. Does it have to be the first of the first? No, it can be any day. To start fresh, you've got to shake off the old shit. You've got to stop fucking around with it. To start fresh, you've got to make sure you don't get dragged back into the old bucket and get dirty with the old muck. You've got to keep it fresh, baby. Fresh. Fragrant and fresh. Start standing up for yourself. Start standing for what is right. Because throwing farmers off their multi-generational land in the name of money and a transfer of wealth to a foreign country just for that farmer to go and shoot himself or hang himself was completely illegal. 100% above board. but extremely underhanded. Nothing right about it. A farm that used to produce food in the food basket of the Southern Hemisphere now grows cotton. Can't eat cotton. Cotton's no good to us. It's illegal to grow God's herb, a natural plant in its original form. But you can get a permit to have medicinal marijuana that's been fucked around, tampered with, and is no longer the God's herb. It's the devil's lettuce, with all sorts of crazy side effects. So long as you buy it from the chemist and it creates revenue, tax revenue, pharmaceutical revenue, corporate revenue. Oh, but not being allowed to doesn't create revenue? What happens when you go to court? More revenue. Welcome to the world of commodities. Walking, talking, breathing commodity. But it's not about the money, it's about the power. We have the power to control this, we have the power to make sure you can't control that. If you keep fighting it, you're just giving it more power. You're validating their reason to be there. Of course we have to be here. Why? Because you can't look after yourselves. You can't maintain yourselves. You've got no self-control. We need the courts because, like, you just keep committing infringements. Because you're not staying within the boundaries of legalities. Notice I didn't even mention the law there. There's nothing lawful about it. Notice I'm not even being a Bible thumper. I'm being moral, ethical, empathetic, realistic, respectful. All the good things that cost nothing. It doesn't cost anything to be good. It doesn't cost anything to be empathetic and to help one another. Nobody loses. Helping one another means nobody loses. Using one another, everyone loses. I would say that's the beast system. Using one another is a beast system. Helping one another, that's God's. That's the good system. That's the way to live. One you can hold, one you can't. You can lift and hold each other up. The other one just pushes everybody down all the time. Just crawling all over each other like maggots. Just think, with using each other to get to the top is a race to the bottom. That's all it is. It's a good way to get dragged back into the bucket of shit. I want to get to the top first, and nobody ever gets off the ground. You got to pick people up to lift them up to create the human ladder. Crawling all over each other just creates a pile of fucking shit. It's a race to the bottom. Keep it simple, stupid. Because simplicity is my thing, apparently. It's tremendous. And the next video I'm doing is, you don't have to look at my noggin or listen to me hardly. You're going to listen to Shahid Balsan again. Why? I don't laugh to be a smart ass. It's just truth bomb after truth bomb after truth bomb, this video. He done it on the 16th of December. Please watch it. It will make you view things very differently about what's going on in our country at the moment. No, I'm not being an extreme Islam sympathiser, because there's no such thing. It's just extreme people. It's just extreme people. Misguided. Extreme and extremely misguided extreme people. Brr brr. And God bless.